All right. Well, being an explorer and a person who gathers knowledge, I think I got 99% of Hubbard's knowledge, or at least 90%. All right, maybe 75. I'm still gathering it. There's so much. And so anyway, so I'm going to go this way. I go back to RV, come back in the morning, crowd's still there. Everybody's hiring a kite. Natural high, no drugs. So I get in line, eventually I get up there, and these people are being almost carried off. Snicker, snicker. Yeah, right. But I'm willing to experience it. Open mind, right? Gotta have an open mind, otherwise you can't experience anything. So I said, all right, I'll open myself up, get up there. She gives me the hug. I tell you, I had to be carried off. I had to be helped off that. I was so out of my body, so out of it. And I just loved everybody. I turn around in the crowd and I go, I love you guys. What did she do? There was so much status, just as is, whatever case I had. Did you ever as is something for somebody?
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, you did. You cheated. Yes. And you didn't even charge him, right? You should have charged us money. You know, Hubbard, I once heard a tape that Hubbard quit. No, he told someone, let's see if you remember, and this is where I got it from, that he quit auditing because he felt that his state of influence was so much that he didn't know if it was a process or him, because they would get into space and they would go FN. See? So he started getting other people to audit the process to make sure that the process was getting the EP, not him. Well, so you can have this kind of effect. Anyway, this lady had a tremendous effect on me. And so I went back and studied this whole thing and what happened and got on the meter and sorted it out for myself. But wouldn't this be a stop to having a soulmate or having an ideal marriage partner or 2D? Not being able to really love somebody? Of course. And the only way to handle it, of course, that I know, is processing. I mean, you could tell somebody, oh, just admire them. And the admiration, you know, biggest particle of as is. Yeah, right. Not if he keeps mocking it up. It ain't going as is, right? No. You got to find basics. Basics. I was talking to somebody the other day, yesterday, and he was going, well, I just get people on the meter and see what's going on, and I audit that. I said, you can do that for almost ever. You have to audit out the basics. And every practitioner here would agree on it, right? You got to audit out the basics. Otherwise, you could be there almost forever because you've been in this universe, in this game, creating bank for almost ever. Anyway, get back to my love. That was my story, love story. I'm going to give you a definition of love, though, from LRH. Love is a word that has too many meanings, he says. But I like this definition number 2, the human manifestation of admiration. Definition number 3 is an intensity of happiness addressed in a certain direction. So if you admire somebody and they make you quite happy, you can say there's some love there, wouldn't you? Yeah. So I admire you guys, you make me happy, so I love you. Was any less than that? All right. Okay, so I decided to, so I did a lot of research on what Hubbard had to say about 2Ds, and I went around orgs and did a 2D seminar for him and missions. Then I got this little piece of tech that was developed by the first NOTS people who did neurodynamics for OTs. And they were passing this secret tech around. It was like, here, that flag. And they'll give it to certain people. And it was a methodology on how to remote view and find your 2D this lifetime, or your more ideal second hand this lifetime. And so I expanded it from that. I expanded it, added processing, and became a very workable technology. That's how I found my soulmate, Leslie, 26 years ago. And that's how long I had this tech. And I've had it, and I got a withhold here. I've been withholding it from the free zone. Not over it. But I'm going to give it to the free zone now. Whoa! Been giving it to non-Scientologists. They love it. Actually, I went to Europe, and I did 2 seminars. One of them was in a soulmate seminar in Europe among, I don't know if you remember this. I think I talked to you guys. I had dinner with you, or no, it was with Casper, his group. And Casper, last night. And I did the soulmate. And 2 years later, when I went to Europe, people were coming to me going, I found my soulmate. Yeah, so, so it even works among Europeans. So. All right. So I'm going to define what a soulmate is, or life partner, or as we say in Scientology, the ideal 2D. Because a lot of people don't realize this. Their ideal 2D or soulmate is looking for them too. Now, if you already have a mate, you should get this technology so you can help your friends find their soulmate, or tell them to come to me. Okay. Definition 1 of soulmate. Soulmate is one who you knew in another lifetime, and a decision was made by all parties to be together again at this time here on earth. Hence the search begins to find the other soulmate. Very simple, right? You maybe usually what happens when I audit people, what they do, they find out that it's some lifetime way back. They were with their soulmate, but something occurred. Planet blew up or something. Who knows? Different things happen, and they lose touch with each other. But there's a postulate decision to, okay, up the track, when we handle our cases, we'll get back together. See? There's a postulate there with some people. Now the second definition is soulmate is one who entered into this universe, into this game. We're going way back on the track now, right? Right? You somehow were invited, tricked, implanted, or somehow got involved in this game. Only you can know that. Only you know that, what it was. Maybe you're one of the trappers, who knows. But a soulmate is one who entered this universe with you and in the action of playing the game of life, which we're all playing. One lost another, hence the game to find one another in the game is resumed. And then you try to find that person. So there you go. You lost them at the beginning of the game, and you're still trying to find them. Definition number 3 is desire to is just somebody you find this lifetime, and you want to have some great sex with them. You want to have some great times with that person, including that stuff too. You want to have a strong desire and admiration for that person, and you're creating it in the new unit time. And that's the this lifetime person you find and what you're looking for. And that's okay. Doesn't have to be a past life situation. All right? Now those of you that do have mates, I'll give you some hints, and I know this gentleman over here will too, Trey, tell you how to maintain a good soulmate. Okay. Well, during I call it a rundown, but during the whole process, if you can't sort it out what a soulmate is for you and what you're particularly looking for, we help you sort that out. You know, because sometimes it depends on too what phase of life you're in. See? What phase of life? Your phase of life you're in, like when you're 18, 19, 20, 23, like some people I know. It's a different phase when you're looking for a mate than somebody who's in a later part of their life. They don't want to create babies. They probably already did that. If they go into second or third marriage, it might be a little different thing. Okay. All right. So it depends on what phase of your life is what kind of soulmate you'll be looking for. One of the first things you got to do, and this is the hardest thing people do, to do, is if you want to attract someone, law of attraction. How many people read law of attraction? Very good. If you want to attract somebody, I found that if you want to attract somebody, you got to, if we wanted a room to do this, we have to find an empty room. Don't we? We can't do it with other people in it. In other words, if you want to find a soulmate or a partner, you got to create the void. You got to get rid of those other hanger-oners that you have in your life. We call them false soulmates. We call them false soulmates. People who pretend to be your partner and they're really not. I mean, they really think they are. But all they're doing is giving you those tough, rough lessons that you don't need. So we teach you how to do that, you know, how to differentiate between a false soulmate and a real one. You can do all this stuff, I'm telling you yourself, if you're trained enough to find someone. You have to create the void. And I was talking to this one person I was working with, and she says, after she did my course, she came back and she said, I can't find my soulmate. It was 2 months later. And I said, well, what do you do on the weekends? And she goes, well, I go out and dance and listen to music. And I said, that's fine. Where do you go listen to music? Oh, that biker bar. And this girl's got a 4-year college degree. I said, what's she doing at the biker bar? I said, is that where you think your soulmate is at, hanging out at biker bars? That's not what you wrote here. See what I mean? That's an extreme case, but it was a true one. You got to create the void to pull it in. If you think your soulmate's hanging out, say your soulmate is, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But make sure you don't run into false soulmates. You know, guys, and this is for the girls, so guys, you can close your ears if you want. The way guys, if you're out there, and I'll give the guys some tips too, and your practitioners should give this tip to your people. The way the guys view this stuff, I mean, they go out and they're looking at a gal in three ways right off the bat. Either you're a one-night stand, meantime, or you're the one. Right? Am I wrong or not?
What was the second?
Meantime.
Average time.
If it's a one-night stand, of course, he wants a one-night stand. You know that. He wants to get it done. Have another drink.
Doesn't it take about 100 one-night stands to find your soulmate?
No, let me give the course. If it's a meantime, he's going to hang you on, and never take the next step to the relationship. See? If he's the one, you're going to find yourself at the altar. because he looks at you as someone who is valuable to him. In generally, I'm thinking in terms of generalities here a little bit. And ladies, you know, like for the guys, look at you as security. If she's gonna have babies with you, you better be a secure guy. How are you gonna take care of the babies? All right? And if she's getting older, she's gonna need taken care of. Now, it depends on your phase of life. At some point, you're past that. You don't need me. That's funny. But you know something? I was talking to this one gal who was like in their 70s, and I'm in my 60s, so close to 80. And I said to her, I said, do you ever think about sex? That's sex. She goes, no, I don't care about men. I haven't had sex for 20 years. You know, it doesn't matter. And I said, do you dream about it? Oh, yeah. The urge doesn't go away, guys. To connect up, be with somebody intimately, and having that relationship, it doesn't go away. Your body might get old, your body's going to die someday. So what? But those 8 dynamic urges that we need and we have to play the game of life are going to be with you. All right. Let's go on. I don't want to take all the time here. We got other speakers. This interesting to you?
Yes.
Should I go on?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so step 4 would be how to remote view, and what Hubbard would call no point. See, how do you remote view? This is what I got from the Knots people how to flag. You know, later on I heard in the scavenge said anybody doing this is going to be commented and kicked out. You know, like for squirreling, and he forbid anybody from doing this. You know, this was back in the late 80s. But I took the tech and safeguarded it for you. Anyway, Hubbard has a lot of methods, no point, and they figured out a way to remote view, meaning, when I say remote view, how many people know about that, remote viewing? Yeah, that's seeing something in the physical universe at a distance, right? It's knowing that it's there, you know. Did everybody here know that the U.S. government had a program on remote viewing?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, which was put together right after they
Infiltrated.
no, right after they came into the church and they raided the church. They took meters, OT levels, stuff like that, the original OT levels, and back to 78, early 78. And then they came up with their own method. And I found out who was the teacher of this beginning project. It was Major Ed Baines, a major in the U.S. Army, who was head of the program. And then I heard that he was giving lessons in remote viewing. So I said, being a guy who goes out to see sages from India, I went to meet this guy. In fact, I signed up for his course. Right? Paid him $600 or something, whatever he wanted. See, I don't mind outflowing for stuff. And I took his course on remote viewing. And then after the class was over, it was more fantastic because he would talk about governments and finding the 70s, 80s, finding miniature Russian submarines. He found you guys as submarines by remote viewing. And he would spy in other countries with remote viewing. All come from the LRH tech, right? So we can teach how to do this. And so he did his course, and the way he did it was he learned how to bypass the guy's case. See, because your case gets in the way. Same with finding your 2D. See, your case is going to get in the way. That's why a lot of people who haven't found their second dynamic terminal here is because your case is in the way. If it wasn't in the way, you would have your 2D. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? My case wasn't in the way, that's why I found mine. Of course, I got a lot of oddity. Right? Okay. So, remote viewing. So I went to this guy, and he taught us how to do this. And he starts talking about Tom Cruise. He'd been to Tom Cruise's house. He served under 4 presidents, U.S. presidents, finding things that they needed to find. Remote viewing. So anyway, we teach you how to do remote viewing. I can't do it with a whole class like this because there's too many. And it's done one-on-one. It's done one-on-one. But once you learn it, you know how to do it and teach others, etc. But this guy, what we do is not circumvent your case. We go in there and handle your case so you can remote view easily. And I think that's better, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, A to B, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Can't even read my writing here. You ever wonder why your postulates don't stick sometimes? Well, did you see, remember when you looked at a, I don't have one here, but a tone scale. Where is postulates on the tone scale?
It's at 30. 30.
20.
20.
22. You're probably more right
No,
than
it's 30.
that. Games?
Games is 22, action is 20.
Well, where's postulates?
It's 30.
30.
Yeah.
You concur with that? Okay. See, if all these tech people say it is, and I go along with them. 30. All right. You got to get up to tone 30, people, if you want your postulates to stick. So what we do, we get a guy, we audit him, and get him up to tone 30, at least for a second or two, so you can see his soulmate. Now, when you see your soulmate, you're going to see that person, where that person is, in present time, in the physical universe, on this planet. Could you have more than one soulmate?
Yes.
Of course. Could your soulmate be on another planet? Yes. Right. So you might have to go to another definition, find another one for this lifetime. Get a meantime, this lifetime soulmate, right? Yeah, why not? You're going to have a good time. Now, there's a big, thanks. There is a big, there's a big difference here when you do find a soulmate and when you find a false soulmate. The way you can tell, this is very important, the way you can tell is, does your life improve? Your life should excel. You should be fantastic. Life, hey, you know what I tell my wife every day? I say, every day is Saturday. And that's my philosophy, huh? With her, every day is Saturday.
What about Sunday?
I don't rest. That's for Christians. They need the rest. They work hard all week long. They need the rest, okay? I don't work that hard. I don't need the rest. Am I enjoying myself? You betcha. Now, okay, I'll get to that part later. Let me finish this. Telepathy is used, psychic abilities. Now, there was some people handing me notes. There was somebody handing me a note saying, the speakers, and before I forget, at least tell some stories of your psychic abilities, or what you experienced, or what you've seen, maybe in session or outside of session that people have done, because others want to hear about it and need to hear about it. Okay? Stuff, odd phenomena, paranormal phenomena, I remember I was auditing somebody on OT3 while I was helping them through the process because they couldn't get it. So I did it for a while with them. 2 books, size of a phone book, just totally flew off the shelf. Not off the shelf, off the table. That was about from here to you, from me. And she was just like, boom, right? The other time was where we put somebody on it and the lights kept going off. You ever had that happen, Mary?
I had a PC that turned all the lights off, and he said, I did that.
Yeah.
He also stopped the elevator.
Yeah. See? Now what we've got to do is teach them to do that all the time.
Well, then we never.
And I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to win some. Anybody gamble yet? Yeah. Remind me to teach you some tips on how to make some money. Some people are making money now, right? The guy with the cat is making some money. Okay. All right. So let me finish this so we can get some more guys up here. Let me see if I got anything else.
Right.
Yes.
We need 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm going to change the tape? Okay.
Should you change all the tapes?
So when and how are you gonna release
Should you
this to the
change
free
all the
zone?
other tapes at the same time, Fred? Should
Sorry?
you change the other tapes at the same time?
What other tape?
Is there more cameras going than one?
Yeah, but that's their responsibility. I'm not a control freak. I'm trying to take responsibility for everybody. Everything's happening in the room. This is an interactive place. You guys want to get up and dance or say something, let me know, or just do it. We're good? All right. You missed my last joke. The other thing that we do is we teach how to network, you know, because a lot of people don't know how to network. They don't know how to find. You know what I mean by networking?
Yes.
Networking, right? Getting communication. Yeah, it said that we're like nine people away from everybody. You ever heard that? We're like 9 people away from everyone. You know. Now it's 6. Yeah. We teach how to network so you can find your soulmate. We had people find their soulmates in Europe, and they were in the United States, and they went to Europe and found them because they knew that's where that person was, and they're married today. We had people find their soulmate on airplanes. You know, they get on the airplane on the way home, and there they are. There's no such thing as coincidences. Your soulmate is looking for you too. And you practitioners should get this text and help your guys, because the more stable they are, the more stable their sessions are. Have you ever had any clients that they go and get married and all of a sudden they're not doing Scientology anymore?
Well, that was their hidden standard, was to get married.
No. The soulmate's stopping them. Their false soulmate is stopping them. Because that false soulmate doesn't want nothing to do with Scientology. You know what I mean? That's how important it is to get your guys to get to a correct terminal, because of that other terminal will stop them. The false soulmate will stop them. They're dream killers. I don't care if it's a guy or girl, they're dream killers. They'll kill your dreams if you get the false soulmate. And we'll get this going up in Alaska too. Yeah. The question was, when are we going to release it? We're starting it from today. We're introducing it. We're putting it on the website, and we're going to go around and do seminars on this stuff so people can sit there. Because this is a workshop, so you do things. You know, it's just not me up here lecturing. You know, that's not fun. Well, it's fun for me, but it's not fun for you. You do things, and you go out and do things. And so you got, if you want the happiness, you got to do the doingness, correct? Do you do have? Okay. I'm almost done. The last thing here is that you have to have a high priority. This has to be a high priority. You know, it has to be front burner, if you know what I mean. I know this is all slang for the Russians, I'm sorry. If you think that, okay, I'll find them sometime after my tennis match, I'll look a little bit. Maybe this weekend. The more time and energy you put into it, law of attraction, the more it's going, the easier, faster it's going to happen. Yeah. I was living 40 miles away, and I did all this So I know it works. I did, and I've done it for many, many years, 26 years now with people. And the window gets open. Sometimes it's just open for 24 hours that you're going to be able to find that person. See? Like my soulmate was in town just that night. She was at a Auditor's Day meeting in San Francisco Board, and I just did my stuff, knew I had to go there. I've been into orgs for years. So I went down there, and of course, there she was at the audience. I knew what she looked like because I remote viewed her. Curly hair, cute, not too tall. I like it little. There she was. You know? And after I met her, I was with my buddy, and she was with her older sister, who was a little taller. And my buddy goes, well, what'd you think? And I said, I'm going to marry that girl. So I told him. He goes, which one, the big one or the little one? I said, the little one. See, I knew. So can you.
It's a nice story, right?
It's a beautiful story. I love it. Go ahead, hear it. Okay. Main things have fun.
Yeah.
Main things have fun. I remember I went to a special meeting with Diana Hubbard once, and she was just, it was 1978 or something like that. And she said, I don't know what she called him, Dad. I don't think she called him Dad. What did she call him? What Diana Hubbard called her father?
Daddy.
Daddy. Yeah. She said, Daddy said, if you're not having fun, you're not doing Scientology. And that's my philosophy too. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
You're on red shirt.
Go for it.
Orange shirt. My favorite color.
I was
Red
just,
shirt.
yeah, I have, if you want to.
No, you.
Go ahead. Me? Okay.
Ladies first.
Well, I did what you said. I did that networking too, and I went back on the track, and I had someone help me find, I was an implanter. I did all that crap to people. So.
Oh, it was you.
Yeah.
Here.
I did all that crap. I've been there, done that, right?
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that then I got on the internet and I put out exactly what I wanted, and I got all these people that said, "Oh my God, I really wish I could have you. You'd be the perfect person for me, but I can't meet up to your expectations." That's what would happen. I get all that coming back to me, and that went on for months. And then I got like my happiness went down. I got tired. I said, "This is bullshit."
Yeah. It was bullshit. I'll tell you why. Because see, say if a guy, you single?
Yeah.
Yeah. Say this gentleman starts writing out what his ideal mate is, right? And he writes up the supermodel, that makes $1 million a year or whatever. Okay. Say he does this, right? He's doing it out of his analytical mind, out of his reactive mind, or case mind, or 2D case. He's not doing it out of knowing who that soulmate is. Do you follow? Right? So all you're going to get is some imaginary person who doesn't exist, but in your mind.
But don't you have to put out exactly? Don't you have to put out? I would think you'd have to put out exactly what you want, right?
No.
Why not? Why not?
Why can't I get what I want?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're not key enough, I guess, to say this is what I want, and that's what you get. I'm just saying for these definitions of a soulmate here. See, let me read you a real brief. A soulmate is one you knew in another lifetime who you decided to meet again this lifetime, right? And the other definition is one who you entered this universe or the game of life with. And the other one is like, well, let's find somebody, and I think this is the one you're talking about probably, some special person that you can have, this special relationship. But it's still out of your imagination that you're writing this down, and hopefully you're postulating. See? Because the other person has to describe you or write you down. See, what are the odds there? If somebody, they're not remote viewing you, how do they know what you are, you know? So it gets in another game altogether to say, okay, I want this supermodel, you know, 5'9", makes $1 million a year, and I want to be married to her. I mean, that's another game. That's totally another game I'm talking about. Right?
It's a solution to a PTP.
Yeah, it's a solution to your present time problem, probably. You know? But see, this is the thing that we do. We help you sort this out. Okay, I'm not trying to get on you.
No, I
You know,
know.
because I met you, I like you. You're okay.
No, you love
Even though you've been an implant. We've got to handle you anyway. Otherwise, you might implant
It's
again.
over with, it's way over with.
Anybody else have a question?
Well, she raises an interesting point. What's the difference between a false mate and someone who simply doesn't know that that's who they are? Did I say that right?
Yes. I got something for you. There was this other practitioner I knew, and she goes, and she wasn't even a Scientologist, but she was like retired counselor, right? And she goes, because she would counsel people on family relationships and marriage and stuff. She goes, you know, Ray, the one that loves the most loses. Yeah, that's what I thought, slap in the face, right? I go, wait a minute, you know, I got a lot of love to give, and why should I be the loser? What happens with the human relationship, if you don't get this stuff handled, is that the other person knows you love them more. Who's got the power now? Got it? Who's got the power now? You're going to lose. You get that supermodel. Say you wrote down, you won't do it, but you wrote down supermodel, makes $1 million a year. Here's this gorgeous girl. Wait a minute. He's got this, you know, and boy, what a theta trap. Perfect theta trap, Ellery says, a beautiful woman. You go ahead and write that up. Or write that guy up that you ideal see. You're going to be a slave to him. You'll be a slave to him. Or, no, this is not what this is about. This is about finding somebody that'll help you through the game of life, empower you and you empower them, and you win. Follow? Big difference, isn't it? Big difference. I mean, you know, being married to a supermodel wouldn't be that bad, but you're going to be trapped. she'll trap you, man. You'll be a happy golfer, I tell you.
Then she'll implant you.
Yeah, then she'll send you to somebody. Anyway, go ahead. Another question?
Yeah, are you going to be doing a remote viewing seminar here at the conference?
Not this time, no. We do that with our soulmate stuff. Otherwise, people want, hey, show me how to remote view so I can find gold. That's not my purpose to make you rich. Go to church Scientology. They claim to make people rich. One red shirt. I don't know if I got the question totally. Say it again.
Could you give this material to a non-Scientologist and possibly they could read that and say, oh, dang, I'm in the wrong relationship and kind of move on? Would it work for someone?
Does it have to be somebody who's in Scientology to use this stuff, right? Is that?
Oh, okay.
Repeat the question.
Yeah, if you
Tell me if I'm wrong. Does it have to be somebody who's, does this work with a non-Scientologist? Yes, it does. I've done seminars for many, many years on this stuff. Psychic fairs, I'll go and do the seminar. I mean, I piloted this stuff for you guys. But it works better with a Scientologist because there's less case there. And when I talk about remote viewing, I talk about these things, they're able to grasp it. You know, they've got a lot of words cleared up already. And it's just quite nice. I mean, we get a lot of people who are able to make it.
Could you tell us a little bit more about Diana?
Not this time. I knew her. She was my senior as a mission holder back in the 70s. before she was canned by you know who as a mission. She was head of the mission network. So she, Diana Hubbard. So I knew her. I went to meetings and stuff like that, and she was. I loved her. I thought she was great. Some mission holders didn't like her, but no, she was theta to me. She was just a theta gal. And anyway, do you have a question?
No, I was.
Oh, okay. If we get some time, I can talk to you maybe. Let me see, anybody else had a question other than you? All right. Kat?
Yeah, I wanted to say about loving the other person more.
Yeah.
It actually worked for me because she ended up dragging me up the bridge. I loved it.
Oh, bless her. Any other questions about Soulmate Tech? Okay, so it's going to come out, and I'm going to train practitioners, have a special event for practitioners maybe, because you got to get at it, how to do this correctly, just like you have people on your ethics stuff, tech.
Sure.
All right, so I think my time's up.
What about your website?
I went over. What?
Your website?
Oh, yeah, it's free zone worldwide. And what's our website on that, Soulmate?
Soulmate.freezoneworldwide is one word. .info. Info like information.
.info.
That's it.
That's it? Is it Soulmate? Okay, we'll write it up here. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Can you say it in the mic?
Could you write?
Okay, could you come up here and say it? Because she's the one that put it up. I don't know the state on it.
I think I said it already twice.
Let's do it again.
Soulmate. That was in single, not a plural. Soulmate. Dot, like a full stop. Free zone worldwide as one word. You continue after the stop.
Soulmate starts it, and then free zone worldwide.
Yeah.
You know, like address on the internet, you write it as few symbols. So symbols are soulmate dot free zone worldwide dot info. That's it.
Okay. All right. Let's get the next speaker up here. Rey, you ready to go?
Let's give you a hand first.
Oh. Thank you very much.